Will,
Yes.
do you remember when it was that we first tried to record this episode?
It's 2 years ago. I was on my way back from one of my my work trips.
Okay.
I want to say that I was coming back from Gen Con or Adepticon because I remember flying out of the Chicago area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you had told me, you were like, oh, hey, there's a movie about Blackberry, like the Blackberry phone. And it was done by the guy who did Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, or the show, excuse me.
Yeah.
And it had some Warhammer in it, and I think that's kind of cool.
I think I was using that to entice you.
Yeah, it's like maybe
to be interested.
Maybe you should watch it. And I was like, oh, they've got Warhammer in this. Yeah, of course I'll watch it. Whatever. And then I didn't know where to find it, but on my way back to Florida, it was on the plane, and I watched it, and I was fucking enthralled. It was so good.
I saw so many Letterboxd reviews researching this that were like an incredible plane movie. Like, that's so funny you said that. Do you remember what month it was, though?
If it was Adepticon, it was in March. If it was Gen Con, it was in July.
Well, according to my notes,
yeah,
we recorded that episode in May of 2024.
Then it was neither of those.
Was it March? And that was just the last time I opened the file, actually.
If we did it in May, no, if we did it in May, then that means that I was coming back from Adepticon. And I watched it. And then we talked about it. And then you were like, hey,
later,
let's do Blackberry. And we recorded it.
Yeah.
But we actually did.
Well, we did the pod.
Yes.
We did not record it.
Yes.
And then we realized at the end of our discussion, when I went to go turn the recorder off, that it was never on. Mm-hmm. And I am, because I'm saying this now, I am
looking at
the recorder to make sure it's counting down and going. And it is, thank God.
Yeah.
We have never made that mistake again, thankfully, but it was such a defeated.
I remember how distraught both of us were because, like, I think we recorded 2 episodes that day, if I'm not mistaken, because it was like on a Saturday.
That makes sense because I feel like we could have come back from a break and then I forgot to set it all up again.
That's exactly what it was. We recorded whatever else came out in May, and then we took a break. I went to piss, all that other stuff, and then
we were doing one episode a week back then.
So we had to do like multiple episodes a day. And we got through it all, and then you're like, "Oh my god, well, I don't want to tell you this." And I was like, "But I didn't have record on it." I'm like, "Fuck," and we were both like,
we sat there stunned, and I remember we were debating doing it again over right then and there, and we were like, no.
The sad thing is though, like I remember our conversation, like we were very into the discussion. It was a really good episode.
That's why it hurt so much.
Yeah, I know,
because it was it was a good episode.
and it was like 9:30 or whatever, and you were like, do you want to just like run it back and stuff? I was like, I don't think I have it in me.
Yeah,
I'm like, so
I remember you saying that exactly. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, I was upset, dude.
Yeah, we were both hurt. Yeah, because it was like, what did we even do that for?
Yeah. It was like, and this was...
It was just 2 of us talking to each other.
Yeah. This is true. This is true. Nobody knows what we were talking about.
That's not content now? It's gone into the ether?
Yeah. We were 1 year in. So like, go fucking figure.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah. And this was like right after we did our best of the year stuff too. We talked about Oscars and shit. You were telling me like, what's his name? Shaved his fucking head. Trying to get
Glenn Howerton.
Trying to get an Oscar, and he was fucking snubbed.
Yep.
And he just looked stupid for a while because of it. Yeah,
he got razzed on his own podcast about it too.
Did he?
His the other guys on It's Always Sunny were like, "Are you worried it's not going to grow back?" And he's like, "No, it's coming back." you could feel the fear in the air. You know?
That's good. That's good shit. But yeah, you talked the movie up, and then I remember like, but maybe a couple weeks later, I'm on my way back from fucking Chicago. I'm like, oh, this is here. Let's watch this. I was like, oh my god, this is fantastic.
Every person I've recommended this movie to that has seen it has been like, that movie was great.
It was. Yeah.
And we've been teasing for a while now that we're going to eventually do this episode again. Mm-hmm. And multiple people have been like, I can't wait for that episode. I'm like, I know, I can't wait for it to get recorded for once.
For once, I know.
Well, from 2 guys who forgot to hit record the last time they discussed this movie nearly 2 years ago, this is Debaser, a film podcast. I'm Jared, and together with my co-host Will, we explore both new and familiar movies to bring you details and discussion about them, all in an effort to debase the films and ourselves. Today's episode a business biopic detailing the rise and fall of a major company that impacted society so significantly that it's almost quaint to imagine life before it. Mm-hmm. After the break, Will and I once again discuss Matt Johnson's Blackberry. Stay tuned.
We're inside a computer program.
Watch my mouth.
All right, kid, here's the deal.
Keep your head still.
Don't you know who I am?
15 minutes ago.
What did it was the same?
Me neither.
The water goes over a dam and under a bridge.
It's like people only do things.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response.
Yeah, you're dignifying her.
It's really sad.
What did it was the same?
Keep your head still.
Look at all the hunky boys.
Anyway.
This is Debaser.
Now what do we talk about?
We talk about Blackberry.
Did we just go right into it?
I mean,
I have a synopsis and I don't even want to read it because I'm like, I don't do that anymore. It's so long.
That's fine. We can talk about like the beep bops and boops,
Beep bop.
the first bits, and then the things that we like. Yeah, and that helps me avoid talking about the 45-minute gap
that
I missed in the movie.
Well, you've already seen it, so
I have already
it's not like you really have to riff too hard.
No,
I almost came into this having only watched the first half.
Oh, really?
And then this morning I was like, no, I gotta like make myself do this. And so I watched it off to the side earlier.
Really fucking interesting when the iPhone is announced.
I would say there's very few slow parts in the movie at all. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, once the iPhone thing happens, it's really rocketing.
It ramps up.
Because like people are really yelling at each other.
Yes.
Yeah. So Will, welcome back.
I'm back.
Today we're talking about Blackberry finally.
We are finally.
A long-awaited, much ballyhooed episode that we meant to do 2 years ago, and then we're so dispirited by our incompetence that we decided we would get around to it eventually one day when we felt like it. I, fortunately, saved my notes from that day. However, I have revamped the format of how I talk about the show, like my little script, so much that I actually had to go back and just add a whole lot more. But it's fine.
Yeah, longtime listeners will have heard many, many times in many different episodes of ours that we fucked up and didn't record this fucking this episode, and then we're finally getting to it. Thank God, enough time has passed. The wound is healed.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that we were just kicking the can down the road because it hurt to even think about. But we were like, it's such a good movie, we owe it, and it's such a good movie and underseen movie
for sure.
And like when I mention it to people, oftentimes they haven't even heard of it, and I have to go, I know it sounds bad. It's a movie about a product. Those are usually bad, but this movie rules, I
had to do the exact same thing. So like, for 420, we had people over and I was like, hey, I got to watch this movie. Like, I know, we got to watch a funny movie or whatever. This movie does have a lot of comedy in it, but it's like cringe comedy and it's really fucking good. And it's about the Blackberry phone. Yes, I know the Blackberry phone. Chill, sit down and watch.
Yeah, it's a biopic about a product. I know it sounds dumb as hell. All those movies are usually just product placements and bullshit, but this movie actually is really good and says a lot of interesting things about, we got capitalism and
we got 20 minutes in and everybody was like, this is really good. And then the other people showed up and they were like, okay, well, we'll just watch this some other time because I'm actually enjoying this.
Because then it becomes a social thing and it falls apart. Yeah. Been there. So Blackberry came out May 12th, 2023. And our episode was recorded, I think, almost a year exactly after that. It is available to stream on a lot of places, I'm happy to say.
That's good.
Because we're doing a lot of Matt Johnson's movies right now, and they are hard to find. Mm-hmm. But Blackberry is available right now on Netflix, something called Philo, AMC Plus, Canopy, Sundance Now, and DirecTV Stream. Now, the easiest one on here would be Canopy because that's the one I think you can
Is
do
it the library?
I think that's the library card one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Netflix, of course, anyone has a Netflix account or has their mom's Netflix account or their roommates, whatever, just go steal someone's account, whatever. The film stars Jay Baruchel. Always butcher that name. I'm sorry. I love him to death.
He's very funny.
Yeah. Ever since I saw him in Undeclared, like he's really good. Glenn Howerton and Matt Johnson, who we are basically diving through all of his movies right now. We're doing our little Matt Johnson special. Jay Baruchel.
Baruchel.
Baruchel? Maybe. You think? Okay. You know him from many Judd Apatow movies like Knocked Up, This Is the End, as well as Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon. I always forget that one, but that is probably his biggest role.
Yeah, he was also in Tropical Thunder.
Oh, yeah, he is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of those guys are too, yeah. Glenn Howerton is most famous as Dennis from the long-running show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, of course. And Matt Johnson, because we are covering all of his movies right now.
Yes.
But he is half of Nirvana, the band The Show. And we'll be discussing his other 2 movies probably after this episode.
Yes.
So the film's screenplay is written by Matt Johnson and producer Matthew Miller, and was directed by Matt. And it is loosely adapted from the Jackie McNish and Sean Silkoff's book called Losing the Signal, The Untold Story Behind the Extraordinary Rise and Spectacular Fall of Blackberry. I say very loosely. They took a lot of liberties with that. Admittedly,
well, because it's hard to get a hold of all 3 of the guys, right? Like, I'm sure the from what I'm gathered from the movie, Jim Balsillie does not sound like a man who wants to be interviewed.
Oh no, no,
especially after the SEC stuff.
In fact, Glenn Howerton never met him before filming. He only met him after a screening.
Really,
and he didn't want to either. Because he's not playing him as like a great person.
No, yeah,
and but yeah, he said, "I'm glad I never met him because that would have made it really awkward, and it's hard to portray someone." With faults,
right,
or as an asshole,
and then
after you've met them,
I was gonna say Doug Freegan, based on like the text at the end of the movie, it sounds like he's like a very quiet individual.
I will have some stuff on that.
Oh, fantastic! Good. I love it when you've got little
this. Well, and these are real people, so there's so much to talk about.
Of course,
too.
Absolutely.
So the premise is the story of the meteoric rise and catastrophic demise of the world's first smartphone. Borrowed a lot of that from the title of the book it's based on. Interesting.
Yes.
The budget of this film, do you know this? Do you want to take a guess, Will?
You know what's so sad is if we recorded this episode back in the day.
I'm sure you had a guess maybe.
I would know this answer.
Yeah.
So like it's low budget just like all the other ones, all that Matt Johnson does. It's an IFC film. I'll say $5 million.
I will tell you this, it's his biggest budget movie though.
Oh, fuck, it's $20 million then.
No, it's split the difference. It's 10.
10. Oh, I was so close.
It grossed 2.8.
Yeah, I didn't. I remember it being a flop, which is so sad.
Financially, it did not do well. However, it was a critical success and got Matt Johnson enough accolades that he was able to do Nirvana the Band, the movie, which we just covered.
Yes.
Blackberry has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well deserved.
Incredible.
Yes.
Reviewing Blackberry for the AV Club, film critic Brent Simon praised the film, writing, investing heartily in its story's personalities and eschewing, is that how you say that? Eschewing myth-making reverence or precociousness, Blackberry's makers entertainingly framed their film as a workplace dramedy about industry gatecrashers rudely ejected from a party of their own staging. Critic Adam Kempenaar also praised the film, writing, Howerton plays Basili like an actual shark. I always stumble on how to say his real name. Ball silly.
Yeah. They even go out of the way to have a lady say ball silly.
Multiple people, I think, throughout the movie.
It saying ball silly.
Yeah. Anyway, Howerton plays Basili like an actual shark, perpetually on the hunt, dead-eyed, and dispassionate. Over on Letterboxd, user Tyler Whitmore gave the film 3.5 stars, writing, Am I crazy or did I hear them say Letterboxd after mentioning Raiders of the Lost Ark movie night? Yes, Tyler. Letterboxd is the name of the format that films are displayed in when they were filmed in widescreen but are being presented on standard depth video formats like on television to preserve the film's original aspect ratio. It's where the fucking website you're using to review movies got its fucking name. And no, I do not think Tyler was being cute. I think he's being serious. I looked him up in his profile. He is also a fucking podcaster. He should know this.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, Jared, they just...
And not young enough to not have seen like letterboxed and widescreen like DVDs and shit too.
Oh,
anyway,
no, you're good. What I was going to say is like they give podcasts to just about anybody these days.
Truly. I mean, just fucking any jerk off with a microphone and a laptop.
And a friend.
Sometimes not even that.
True, because I don't think RFK Jr. has any friends.
Just patsies.
And raccoon penises.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, because I wrote these notes
2 years ago.
In the past,
yeah,
I have a very long synopsis. It's not very long, actually. I say that it's not that bad. It's maybe a full page. Do we want to work through it together? And I won't just do that thing where I do a monotone drone of reading through it.
I mean, like, so you could just give the basic premise, or we can just talk about like the things that we like about the pitch, like all of the
opening one.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a good example.
Yeah.
Right. One of my favorite things that Matt Johnson did with how do you say, showing off our three protagonists, or at least there are two protagonists in our one antagonist. So Mike Lazaridis was played by Jay Baruchel.
Mm-hmm.
Baruchel, I don't fucking know. You're right. I have no idea how to say this.
It's just Jay.
And then Matt Johnson playing Doug Freegan, right?
Yeah.
You can see that Doug is kind of neurotic. You know, he's a disorganized, and
he's the fun one.
But he's the fun one, and he likes to speak.
I would say if anyone's
Mike.
neurotic, it's Mike.
Well, so what I was going to say is Mike. I wouldn't say his neurosis is in precision. He cares,
Yeah,
and that's why he's neurotic. One of the things that I liked about the first like 5 minutes of this movie is you see him like taking apart and putting back together.
Right. Well, let's set it up. They're sitting in an office of like a high-powered executive of like a telecom company.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be Glenn Howerton's character, Jim Bosley.
Yeah.
And they're already late, but they realize he's running late too. So they're sitting there waiting for him to show up, and they're like really stressed out. They're not prepared. You can tell they're very sloppily, like not good at doing presentations. And Mike notices that his intercom is buzzing. There's like an open circuit or something that's causing this like weird feedback issue.
It's cheaply made.
Yeah. And he decides to pry it open and fix it. And Doug is freaking out. And he's like, oh, you're touching the thing. You're doing that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like looking out the window watching Jim come down the hall. And he's like, oh, dude, oh, Jesus Christ, he's coming. Like, hurry up. And it's a really tense but fun scene.
It is.
But it sets up that like Mike is just so... He cares so much about quality.
He does.
You know, he hates that a lot of electronics are outsourced to China to be built for like the cheapest bidder, basically.
En masse. Yeah.
And are not of good quality, and it upsets him. And it sets up a long-running thread throughout the movie that Mike refuses to ever let the Blackberries be built in China.
Yes.
Until a very like crucial point in the movie, basically.
That's one of my that's honestly one of my favorite through lines in this entire film.
Yeah.
Is how much Mike's character or Jay's character cares about the product that he makes and the products that people use.
Yeah.
And then like obviously this goes to show like Matt Johnson's character is a goofball and he remains consistently like jovial and how do you say, like, I wouldn't say pushy, but he's the voice. You know, Mike's the talent, Doug's the voice, you know? Does that not make sense?
I mean, in a sense, yeah. Doug is also talented, we see.
Yeah,
but he's also like he's the reason that like there's camaraderie in the office.
Yes.
He like is the reason why there's like movie nights and they're playing video games together. Like he helps everybody have fun. And he's not as driven about the business as Mike eventually becomes either. Yeah, because Mike also isn't that serious about it until they bring on Jim.
And one also, this is an excellent way of showing like Jim as a shark. The whomever person you pulled up the review that was like
Adam Keppenar calling him a shark.
He plays him like a shark. You're at 100% correct. This man is always looking for a way to angle to be on top.
Yeah,
you know, and he's
always outmaneuvering people, and he's just kind of dead eyed. And
yes.
He looks like he will eat you alive.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So like I think that it's masterful, like directing, storytelling purely off of like this is how these characters act, and now we're going to see how that evolves over the next decade or so, right? Almost 2 decades.
It goes from 96 to 2003, then 2007 to 8.
Yes, that's it. So
it does decade. Did you see Steve Jobs?
I didn't.
Oh, great movie.
I've heard.
I don't even like Steve Jobs as a person.
I don't either.
But movie's great.
Sure.
And Aaron Sorkin wrote and directed it.
Oh, so the dialogue.
And yes, it's fire, dude. It's fucking fire.
Yeah.
It's David from Prometheus plays Steve.
Michael Fassbender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is like great. He's great.
Oh, I've heard.
And then Seth Rogen shows up as Steve Wozniak.
Oh, that's tight.
A few times. Yeah. And it like nails it. Like there's an incredible scene when he's about to introduce the iPhone, I think it is. And he's like getting ready to do his like big tech demo. The movie takes place at 3 time periods, and each one's before like a gigantic product launch of an Apple product, basically. Yeah. And the last one is Seth Rogen as Steve Wozniak confronting him and being like, "Hey, you forgot about the people that built this thing. All you care about is money now, you know?" And makes like some really salient points to his face.
Yeah.
And then just walks out. And it's like an incredible scene. And that was That was one of the first times I remember being like, oh, Seth Rogen is like a serious actor too.
He can like,
actually
do it.
He can pull off shit. And now like he's been nailing that for years.
Oh yeah.
too.
I mean, once again, you're watching the
studio.
Yeah.
I have not made more progress on
I
that.
was going to say, I'm going to pick your brain, see how far you've gone. No, it's okay.
I've watched several movies since we last talked. But,
well, we'll talk about it.
Some of them were repeats too. Like I watched Marty Supreme again.
Oh, I know you did.
But it was excellent.
Yeah. But anyways, all of what we just said to say that I think that, because I've never seen any of Matt Johnson's stuff. To seeing this movie.
This borrows a lot from Steve Jobs, like the format, I feel like, where it's 3 different time periods in like a major corporation, and it's about these big, powerful titans, like having quick conversations with each other during pivotal times in their company's career and not following them too personally, more like here's like a day in their life really fast.
Right, at the company.
Yeah. And you get like kind of a flashpoint of what they're like and what's happening and all this stuff. Steve Jobs is a great movie, but I think this is better.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, it's got comedy to it.
Yeah. Because like that movie also jerks off Steve a little too much.
Oh,
it does show him having flaws, but like, it's like he cares about his company so much that he doesn't have time for his daughter, you know. Whereas this movie is like a lot more nuanced, I think.
Yeah.
In looking through reviews, though, I did see a couple of negative reviews that were like, "Oh, it's not fully fleshed out," or the characters don't feel real, and I'm just like, are you
kidding?
For real?
Are you kidding?
I know
they were the same movie.
Very off the mark. That's why I didn't pull a negative review for my second one, because I just felt like they were.
It would have been a waste of breath.
So wrong. Yeah. And there weren't a lot. You know, this has a 97%. So there's hardly any negative reviews out there.
Of course.
But I felt they were so off the mark.
I gotcha.
I just couldn't believe it.
I love this movie.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't know anyone that hasn't liked it, that's seen it yet. You know what I mean? Let's talk through it really quick, though.
Yeah, sure.
So our first section is in 96.
Yes.
And the company is called Research in Motion, or RIM, and it's based out of Waterloo, Canada. That's very important. This is a Canadian-ass movie.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody is Canadian. All the characters, I should say.
Yes.
Matt and Jay, not Mike and Jay.
Yeah.
Jay is playing Mike.
Yeah, Jay's
Matt
Canadian
and Jay
and
are
Matt's
actually Canadian.
Yeah.
Glenn Howerton is not.
Yeah.
But all the characters are Canadian.
Yes.
So Matt's character, Doug, and Jay's character, Mike, Doug and Mike, run this like kind of a ragtag like circuit board company, and they're building modems or routers?
Modems for U.S. robotics.
U.S. robotics, yeah. And they find out
fucked by
very quickly that they're getting fucked over intentionally. And so Mike is the CEO, and Doug is like his best friend and co-founder.
Yeah.
And they have like a handful of like
they've got 6 other guys.
Nerdy guys that work in the office, but mostly they play video games all day.
They play video games and they go on the internet.
Yeah,
so
and watch
nobody
movies,
can
have like
call.
movie night. Yeah. Well, they're online playing Command and Conquer together.
Oh, is that what it is?
Command and Conquer, Doom. Oh God, when Glenn Howerton walks in and tries to make a phone call, he goes, "Hey, get off the fucking internet!"
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So they are like trying to pitch this high tech executive,
a phone,
Jim Basili.
Yeah.
The idea of like. Yeah, a phone that gets email.
That does everything. Yeah.
And he like ignores him because he's like, your pitch is terrible. And then he goes on to do a presentation for his company. And in doing so, like has ignored his boss's orders because he's such a fucking shark.
Yes.
He's trying to like outwit and outmaneuver like his coworkers, basically, his rival executives, and gets fired because of it.
Yep. Finds
the business card for Doug and Mike's business.
Yeah.
Decides to call them up and say, hey, if you make me co-CEO.
No, I want 50% of your company.
Yeah.
And you make me CEO and I'll give you $20,000 cash.
Right. I think he comes around to the 20,000 eventually.
No, he says 20,000 and then
because they scoff at him at first.
Yeah, Doug jumps in and goes, no, thank you, and then hangs up. And then Mike is like, we should probably like figure this one
Discuss
out.
It, yeah.
And so they practice lowballing him.
That's right. Because they call him back with offers.
Yeah.
And Mike immediately goes to the highest one eventually. Yes. Yeah. And Doug is like mad, but also he like in their rehearsal, he knew he was going to be mad and he was going to do it. Because Mike is such a pushover about everything. And Doug has to be the one to like talk him down. Mm-hmm. You know, have a strong back about it.
As much muscle as a goofball can muster.
And you can tell Mike is incredibly timid, and Doug isn't exactly a guy with a strong spine.
Yeah,
but is trying to help Mike have a little bit more,
yes,
tenacity, but it doesn't. It just flounders. And so Jim clearly sees like, I need to be these guys' shark, basically, and I can help them go to the moon.
Oh, and the reason why they go to him is because Jim more or less says like, hey,
he told them you're getting fucked over
by U.S. Robotics. Have
US
they paid
Robotics.
you? You've got a $60 million contract. Have they paid you?
Yeah, and then they find out
Yeah.
he's completely right. They are fucking them, and so that's why they go to him head in hand and say, hey, we actually want to bring you on. Would you help us?
And then Jim, the first thing he does is calls up U.S. Robotics and renegotiates everything, and gets them paid.
And what he does, which is smart, he doesn't ask for the full amount that they were originally going to pay. He just asks them to pay
whatever debt
their exposure, to cover the debt that they spent to just at least build the product.
Yes,
so that they can cut it even. During this conversation with U.S. Robotics, though, where he gets them to pay like $2.6 million, so that they're like paying off their debt, basically. Jim finds out that they have a phone, and he's like, "Okay, but we want the patent for the phone." And he hangs up and he looks at Mike and goes, "What's this fucking phone?"
Yeah.
And so they explain that they have this like idea of building a phone that gets email too, basically, that goes online.
There's free internet in this room right now that you could harness if you had the ability to, and we've figured out how to do that.
Yeah.
Which is like, they figured out Wi-Fi. It was fucking crazy.
In 96.
In 96. That's fucking nuts.
Or I guess it's not Wi-Fi. It's 1G, maybe?
Sure, yeah.
But so they explain this to Jim, and he's like, build me a prototype right now. And they're like, no, it's going to take like over a year. And he's like, get it built this weekend.
Yeah, I don't care how shoddy it is. And of course, this is like,
and of course that hurts Mike. Yeah.
It's the first time that Jim and Mike like really truly butt heads when it comes to cost efficiency or, money versus quality. And of course, this is a theme throughout the rest of the movie, if I'm not mistaken.
But we get a great montage of like Mike and Doug and the other guys in the office, like staying up all night, working their asses off, buy a bunch of like toys and calculators and shit at a electronics store. And then they're like soldering them together in the office. It's a great montage. I love it. And then the next morning they kind of wake up hungover in their office, and there is like a model on the desk, and Jim is outside wailing on his horn in his BMW for Mike to come down with the prototype so they can fly out to Verizon and sell the idea of this phone.
Yeah.
Doug wakes up and looks at the phone and sees that Jim is honking for them to come down with it. And he goes, and sometimes my dreams occur exactly as I dreamt them. And Mike goes, what's that from? And he turns to him and goes, Dune. Which was great because Dune 2 was like just coming out when this came out too.
Right.
It was great timing. Yes. I remember just being like so like giddy about that when that happened too. So Mike and Jim go out to Verizon, and we see how incompetent Mike is. He loses the prototype.
Yes.
He gets a Blackberry stain on his shirt from eating berries.
Yes.
And so he doesn't get to go to the pitch meeting because he's out looking for the model. Jim goes in alone, starts doing the pitch. All the Verizon executives laugh at him because they're like, everybody knows the idea of like how phones can do this, but no one can build a network that like works. We can only get up to 10 phones on it at once.
Yeah.
And they're like, the problem is even our best tech guys can't figure it out. Like everyone knows about this though. And then Mike shows up with the prototype and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm here. And they're like, it's okay. It's over. And he's like, well, did you tell him about the network? And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, let me guess. You only got 10 phones on the network because you tried making them all like server clients or something. I forget what the exact verbiage is, how it works. But he's like, here's what you actually need to do. You need to have a big computer host everything that interacts with the phones. Then you can have like 500,000 phones at once on the network.
Yeah.
And you see the Verizon guys' eyes light up and they're like,
freak out.
What?
Yeah.
And so he comes in with a prototype and shows them and hands it to him. And it's a very simple, it looks like a giant calculator with like exposed circuits. It's not even covered fully with like a plastic shell, but it has a keyboard. It works and it has a keyboard.
That's right.
They hand it to one of the executives and he starts like
click,
picking at it with his index finger.
Yeah.
And Mike goes, use your thumbs.
Use your thumbs,
And so you see the classic, if you've ever held a QWERTY keyboard or a Blackberry.
Which I did have one. I did have a Blackberry.
Jesus, really?
Yes,
My friend had one and I thought it was so cool. I was like, this is for like business people, dude. Why do you have this? Because they were like petering out when we were like 19, right?
Yeah. Do you want to know when I had one?
When did you have one? Yeah.
I had one in 2011.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't think anybody had one after that. That's so funny.
Yeah, dude, it was bad.
They must have been cheap by then.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was
because we were in high school when they were really starting to be cutting edge.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Haley's or my aunt's,
or like a hand-me-down.
And they gave it to me because I didn't have a phone because I had like a track phone, and then I went from the BlackBerry back to a track phone. Yeah, and then I didn't have a fucking smartphone until Pokemon Go came out.
My first like clamshell phone, I guess. Mm-hmm. Are those called flip phones too?
Flip phones, yeah.
Was a Sony, maybe it was an Ericsson, but it slid up and had a keyboard that was underneath it.
There you go. Yeah.
It was incredible. I paid for it with my own money because I had a job finally. It was like 2009. I loved that phone so much. It was like black with like green accents.
Yeah.
It was so fucking cool. I had Metal Gear and like a God of War mobile game on it.
That's tight.
I downloaded like ringtones. Shit was awesome.
I had a ton of music on my BlackBerry that I would fucking put into my shitty Lincoln and fucking drive around listening to the Tron.
The Tron soundtrack. Nice. Yeah, man. I love that phone. Texting on it felt so I felt so cool an adult. It was the first time I didn't have a T9 phone, so I wasn't sitting there hitting the numbers. You know,
I could text.
Yeah,
but I remember if I had it in my plan. So
I was going to say texting was really expensive.
Yes, it was.
Because I remember I would text through like Gmail to make it cheaper. So that I could, and I was really only texting my girlfriend, who is my wife now. Yeah. Humble brag. Yeah, texting was still crazy expensive.
Yeah, it was.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, never had a BlackBerry, but my friend did, and I remember using it a lot and being like, this thing is so neat. I feel so fancy.
It's a neat little thing. Yeah.
And also, okay, so in this product meeting, I should say, with Verizon, they go, what do you call it? And that's how the scene ends. And it, Jim is looking at the Blackberry stain on Mike's shirt. Mm-hmm. The implication being that's where the name came from.
That's not how.
That's not what it was.
If I'm not mistaken, it's because the little keyboard looked like seeds. If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Because if you look at
on a BlackBerry,
the logo, is like 6 keys, but in the shape of a BlackBerry.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was one of the names they had during development. One of the what is it called? Like the set of names that they were considering.
Yeah.
But it's cuter in the movie to make it the fucking stain. So one of the few times where it does a little cutesy, unrealistic thing. It's one of those things that like a lot of other of these like product biopic movies really run away with. Like the fucking, what's the spicy Cheeto movie? Not spicy.
They're spicy.
They're
Cheeto.
called
taquitos.
No. They're Cheetos, but they're
Flamin' Hot
Cheetos. Yeah. There was a movie made about Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Oh my God, you're right.
And it's all based on a lie.
I fucking forgot about that shit.
Because the lie, like that was created, I think, by the company. Is like it was a janitor that came up with it, and now he's like a huge executive who makes like billions of dollars.
Yeah,
and that's all a a lie.
I forgot.
Like none of that happened. Yeah. And they made that fucking movie. I think Eva Mendes like made it. Yeah. Unreal. I'm gonna have to fact check that before I put this episode out. It's just a note to my future self editing this.
Yeah.
So then that's 1996.
Yes.
Then we skip to 2003. And RIM is a massive success.
Mm-hmm.
They're all already super rich. They have a humongous building that they all work out of. Jim is fucking cock of the walk. He's on the cover of is it Forbes?
I'm sure it is.
It's crazy.
Jared, you can't ask me questions because I was asleep during this point.
Okay, I'll walk through this.
I'm so sorry.
You jump in when you can.
I will.
It's okay.
The only thing that I even remotely remember about this segment is when he starts poaching people from Google.
That's a little later.
That's a little later. Yeah. Sorry, but
so we see
they have to grow the team because the demand for the phone has become ludicrous.
It's a little later. We're getting.
I'm sorry. That's all I remember from this segment.
Okay. But yeah, we're seeing Jim meet with a CEO of a rival handheld consumer electronic device manufacturer, and they are planning a rival takeover of RIM. Mm-hmm. This guy's a huge fucking dickhead too.
Oh, it's the Carrie Oles character?
Yes.
Yankowski.
And he's based on a real guy who actually created the 2-liter of soda.
That's
when he ran Pizza Hut.
Yes.
He came up with the idea of selling 2 liters. And he's like, everyone laughed at me. They're like, no one drinks that much soda. But they didn't have the vision that I had.
It's Carl Yankowski.
That's the real guy?
The character.
Huge. He's portrayed as such a huge piece of shit in the movie. And he is in real life too.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, Carrie Elways.
Fantastic actor.
Did not even realize it was him.
Yeah.
And when I read up on it later, I'm like, oh my God, that's him? Crazy. He just disappears into this role, which is scary. And he can, he does play a lot of smarmy,
he does
suited bad guys now, which is crazy.
You ever watch Psych?
No, he's in that?
He was a recurring villain.
Oh,
in
wow.
Psych, where he was an art thief, and he plays a smarmy Canadian art thief.
Is he not in the MCU as a villain too?
He's not. He's not in the MCU.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, to counter the rival takeover, Jim decides they're going to raise RIM's stock price via marketing techniques to sell more phones against the advice of Mike, who warns that Bell Atlantic, now Verizon Wireless, the network cannot support the additional customers. And as forewarned, the network crashes after sales skyrocket. So Jim begins poaching engineers from other major tech companies to fix the network. He also hires Chris Purdy, played by Michael Ironside.
Yes.
If you don't know that name, you've seen him in Total Recall. You've seen him in
Starship Troopers.
Yes. Come on, you apes. You want to live forever.
Come on, Rico. You know what to do.
Yeah, that's right. I don't remember any of his lines in Total Recall, but he's great in that too.
Yeah.
He also is the voice of Sam Fisher in the Splinter Cell series, or at least he was.
Yeah. He's the main antagonist boss in Turbo Kid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he is also the voice of Batman in the episode of Batman the Animated Series where they do the adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns. So he's the Frank Miller Batman who's like super big and roided out, basically.
Huge. Yeah, Michael Ironside is fucking iconic.
He's a hard ass.
Yeah.
And basically he is like a manager. He's there to whip all of the nerdy tech guys into shape, keep them working, to bust their balls, basically, because I skipped over this, but we are shown them to be like
lackadaisical.
It's kind of like a nerdy frat.
Yeah.
They're all just like
goofballing,
eating junk food, talking about movies, playing video games, having movie nights, like goofing off. Yeah. Like running around on each other's shoulders, like having fun. But they are also like creating some of the most effective, like high-end electronics. However, because of this like crunch about the network crashing.
Yeah.
I think it's Mike and Jim's opinion that they are not working hard enough and they need to really crunch. So that is why Jim brings in Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
And Mike goes along with it.
Yeah. I would say initially it's Jim. Because like
Jim brings him in. And
there's a lot of instances where Jim like, hey, because of the company, we got to do this. And Mike
is resistant to it.
But starts having to like sees the results and having to kind of bend to Jim's will in order to see some sort of success.
Yeah. Mike isn't even that upset about the rival takeover. He's like, oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
He kind of seems like, yeah, that's fine. Like,
just let him do it.
Yeah.
And Jim is not, Jim is him.
Yeah. Do you think it's a point of pride though, too? Because they already are mega rich at this point is the thing.
I think that for Jim, it's definitely a pride thing. It's definitely like a status thing. You know, I run the most successful phone company or phone manufacturer or whatever on planet Earth, and we're going to keep it that way.
And we find out he does have an end goal too, and it is to own an NHL team.
It's such a stupid fucking I think
I like it.
I think it's so silly.
I like it because I don't understand rich guys like him otherwise.
Yeah.
Because what is the point of accumulating all this money?
Oh, to be a dragon.
The Elon Musks, the Bill Gates.
To be a dragon.
All these fucking assholes. Yeah. Like, what are you going, or specifically smog? You're saying?
Yeah, they're smog.
But like, what is the point though? Like, if they have an end goal in mind being that like, I want to own an NHL team because I love hockey so much, that makes sense to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Okay, welcome back to Debaser. I'm sorry we had to take a little break there. And I also learned that we have a reggae air horn on the recorder. All right. Where did we leave off? Okay, so the idea that Jim wants to own a hockey team, I think...
Oh, it's quaint.
Make sense to me, at least. I don't know how true it is, but well, I'm jumping ahead, so let's come back to that. Anyway, they bring in Michael Ironside, who is Charles Purdy, to really crack down on the engineers. And to discipline them, basically, destroying the laid-back party-like atmosphere that they have. And much to Doug's chagrin.
Yeah, Doug hates this.
Doug is like, don't you think that the reason these guys are here, like working 80-hour weeks and never seeing their families is because like they're having fun? Like they want to work for you? And he's like, yeah, they want to work here because we're building the greatest phone ever made. And he's like, that's not why, dude.
Yeah.
And you can tell Mike and Doug are starting on the outs now because of this. And Doug really doesn't appreciate like where the company is going, even if they are skyrocketing financially, skyrocketing. I think I left out a syllable there. He still wants off the train. He's like, this isn't fun anymore. I'm not enjoying this. And because he valued the casual and like fun environments, Jim goes around luring engineers from like Google and Nintendo and Microsoft
Nintendo,
and shit.
that's right.
We
I was
do
like-
get a clip of Nintendo's headquarters.
Yes. I forgot how many different places he stole people from.
Yeah, it's a sweet little montage, but
Yeah.
we really only get like two guys. One of them's a top Google engineer, and the other one is ProZD.
I was literally about to pull
I think
him
he's
up.
playing is he a Microsoft guy? But he used to work at PlayStation or Naughty Dog.
Sungwon Cho. He's playing Richie.
I wonder who the real guy is, though. But
Sure.
he makes a reference later how, when I worked at Naughty Dog, we had to hack the PlayStation to run the Crash Bandicoot cutscenes, which is real. I had to look this up. That's a real thing. It's based on like a real thing that they did.
That's cool. I love that.
But Jim is able to poach these guys from these big companies by illegally falsifying dates on their stock options.
That's what it was.
Backdating
That's what
them.
it was, yeah.
So he's like, I can offer you like $1 million in stock options and I'll backdate it so that it actually is $10 million. But that way they're not actually spending $10 million too.
Right.
And it's super illegal and bites them in the ass later.
It does.
But anyway, the engineers are able to fix the network, update. What they do is they update all of Verizon's cell towers to handle the signal that they're changing. And RIM is able to avoid the buyout, the rival takeover, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we get another time skip to 2007.
This is where things get crazy,
and
in my opinion.
Yeah. The heads of RIM are preparing to pitch the new BlackBerry Bold to Verizon, but are caught off guard by Steve Jobs' announcement of the iPhone.
Literally like the day before.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, they're watching they're hearing rumors of it and they're talking about it, like gossiping about it in the office. And then they watch the presentation live in the office on a projector.
Yes.
Which is really funny to think about. So Jim, who is obsessed with acquiring an NHL team, bails on a Verizon meeting initially to make an unplanned meeting with the heads of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we find out that he is trying to move them to Waterloo.
Yeah, to Canada.
And he buys a stadium in Waterloo to do so.
A basketball stadium.
Well, it does both, but he's like, convert this back to a hockey rink, period. Like, never put it back.
If I'm not mistaken, the guy like cautions him against that. He's like, I don't.
He's like, we have contracts with basketball teams. And he's like, I don't care, buy them out.
Yeah, get rid of them. Just
I
pay
think
them
it
off.
goes both though, or whatever.
And he's like, I want that to be my personal.
Yeah,
box.
he's like, build this box. It's so stupid.
He's such an ass.
It is very like, I mean, and he's rich enough that like it's not a problem.
Sure, yeah.
But it becomes an issue later. We'll get into it. But Mike is struggling in his solo meeting with Verizon and feels overwhelmed and unexpectedly pitches a BlackBerry with a touchscreen.
If I'm not mistaken, Doug is also there, is he not? Because
no, Doug is not there.
He's not at this one. Okay, he's at the next one.
that's why it goes so. Oh, Doug. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Jim is not there.
Jim's not there.
He
but Doug
drags
is.
Doug,
to it.
who doesn't really do anything, but just kind of makes like exasperated faces.
Yes, the whole time
as Mike
It's
is like
so good.
snowballing and fucking up.
He's like wearing a suit, but still has his fucking red headband on, and he's just like making dumb faces at the fucking camera. It's so good.
So Mike is obsessed with the idea of a trackpad being the new thing,
right?
Because he doesn't like a touchscreen. Also, for the record, I think Mike is right here.
The trackpad's the thing in the center, right?
Yeah.
So my BlackBerry had that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you prefer it to a touchscreen?
No, I like the touchscreen.
Are you consider how touchscreens used to be? Because I think they were more finicky.
That is the thing. Is remember, I didn't have an iPhone or an Android or anything until Pokemon Go came out. I never had a smartphone.
They were getting better, but I prefer, what is the term for like almost analog?
Yeah.
I don't like touchscreens.
I got you.
They've come far enough now that they're competent, but every once in a while you still hit an old one or one that's in like used by the public and it barely registers. It's really shit like at a gas pump or at like a restaurant where you got to order on a screen and you're like, what the fuck is this? And it barely works. I prefer analog input where I'm using a tactile button or a mouse or something. Yeah. I like I get where Mike is coming from by being adamant about the trackpad.
Yeah.
But he flounders because none of the executives are excited by this. They think the iPhone is going to be the new it thing, which is true.
You're not wrong.
Even if it's not technologically better, from like, or even from a aesthetics standpoint or what have you. And that's kind of the point of this movie too. You know what I mean? Like, I skipped over that, but they have a conversation with Jim very early on about better is the enemy of good or perfect is the enemy of good.
Yeah. What was it?
And he says,
perfect is the enemy of good,
but good enough is the enemy of humanity.
Yes.
Which is kind of a stretch, but what he's saying is like, you shouldn't settle for good enough. And that becomes kind of his ethos. And the further away he gets from it, the worse BlackBerry does, basically. Yes. Anyway, so Mike struggles in that meeting with Verizon and feels overwhelmed and unexpectedly ends up pitching BlackBerry a touch screen against his judgment and better judgment. And Mike also compromises against his ethics and agrees to outsource the manufacturing to China to save on cost because of this. While after fighting over the compromise, Doug leaves the company.
Yes, he does.
And gradually begins selling his shares. Pin in
right
that.
Before 2008.
Yeah, pin in that. We'll come back to this. There's also a screen about it at the end of the movie too.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jim and Mike begin to panic after seeing the iPhone's projected sales figures. They internally leak to them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jim and Mike are panicking.
Yes.
Seeing the sales figures, and Jim's acquisition of the Penguins is being squashed by the NHL unexpectedly after the organization learns that Jim intends to move the team to a new city, Waterloo, because he bought the stadium and word got out. Additionally, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as the SEC, have learned of Jim's stock backdating and are raiding RIM's offices. Side note, this isn't how it happened because the SEC doesn't have jurisdiction over Canadian companies.
Right. So how did it actually happen?
I don't know, but they did take them to court in America because they operate financially in America too.
Right.
They took them to court and levied a bunch of fines against them, which they had to pay out. It was huge and it almost ruined the company.
Well, I mean,
but they didn't like raid the offices in Canada.
Not that much to ruin when it was on its way out.
And obviously they dramatized this a little bit for the movie, of course, makes it more serious. So Jim learns that AT&T are no longer interested in BlackBerry as the iPhone is estimated to make a fortune in data usage, not just phone minutes, which is upending BlackBerry's entire business. Jim returns to the RIM offices to also learn that Mike has fingered him as the culprit behind the stock manipulation to the SEC.
And sold him out.
And basically sold him out. But it was all Jim's idea.
Yeah, it was Jim's idea. So
So you can't really blame Mike for doing that to him.
But Mike did sign the paperwork.
Right, but I guess he wasn't aware of what he was actually signing, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why he fingers him being the sole corporate behind it, yeah. So we get another time skip to a year later. Mike is now the sole CEO of RIM Technologies, and the touchscreen BlackBerries are arriving from China. Mike is opening them up and inspecting them individually and finds them unsuitable, and he begins manually opening them up and eliminating faults in them one by one.
He hears the droning of the imperfections like he did at the beginning of the movie.
And he starts messing with the circuit boards.
Yeah.
And as the camera pans out to reveal thousands and thousands of boxes surrounding him in a warehouse, a text card pops up explaining that the phones were inoperable and Verizon sued RIM to cover the loss over the new phones. Mike resigned from RIM in 2012. Jim avoided jail time from the SEC investigation, and Doug became one of the richest men in the world after selling his RIM stock when it peaked while he quit in 2007. BlackBerry phones once made up 45% of the cell phone market at their peak, and today they are no longer produced.
That's right. Isn't that crazy? And these guys figured out all of the how do you say the ways to have these giant networks all on their own.
Yep.
Like actual factual industry leaders.
They did so much
legwork,
innovating.
Yep.
And like smart consumer friendly shit.
Mm-hmm.
I skipped over the part where they come up with free texting and completely revolutionized texting.
Yeah.
Because they create this way to I guess they're minimizing the data that it takes to send text messages.
Yeah.
And they're also using it to piggyback on cellular data so that it wasn't taking up too much bandwidth.
Yeah.
And also it was free. So it was behind the carrier's back. And so users with BlackBerries didn't have to pay for texting. They could text anyone else on another BlackBerry for free.
Mm-hmm.
And when they explain the technology they just made in the lab to Jim, he immediately comes up with the corporate way to sell it. He's like, unlimited texting only on BlackBerry. And everyone starts going fucking ape shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I didn't realize BlackBerry was
the first
who we have to thank for that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
There's so much that these little goofballs kind of figured out on their own that we benefit from today, and that company does not exist.
And think of what innovations in cell phones have there been in the last 5 10 years?
Nothing. It's the same
Nothing.
thing.
Fuck it.
Just better, better.
It just works a little better.
Cameras.
Literally,
shit,
the phone I had 10 years ago was almost exactly the same. It just worked a little less as well.
This goes to like the enshittification of a bunch of different things. Like one company starts to become the most dominant thing because of X, Y, and Z, and now that they've got
they get lazy and sluggish, and
exactly, they add a bunch of shit that you don't really want or ask for, and then they can charge whatever price they want. Like, how expensive are these fucking things? Like fucking couple $100.
At minimum. Yeah. I got mine on sale for $250. Yeah.
So it's wild.
I know people are paying up to $1,000 now.
Yeah.
And that's normal.
That's crazy.
That's normal.
It's the craziest fucking thing. So it's a real shame what happened to these guys. Is it hubris? Is hubris?
It does. You do feel bad.
Oh, I do.
them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
At least Mike and Doug.
For sure.
But I mean, they're still like very wealthy.
Yeah. Well.
Are you about to tell me they're not?
No.
Oh.
Let's get right to it. Okay, so let me go through my notes really fast.
No, you're good, man.
I normally hate a movie that utilizes a lot of needle drops, but man, this movie has so many good fucking songs, dude. Some of them are kind of obscure too, and they're at least like less popular than you would expect. You know what I mean? Like they're not the most obvious or like eye roll worthy kind of needle drops. One of them is "Someday" by The Strokes. And it's used incredibly. And I like how it is both diegetic and not, because it just starts playing over a scene. Then we get a quick montage, usually to do like a time skip to. And then it becomes diegetic and it's playing off of someone's car radio as they're entering a new scene. It's so like the editing on this film is so well done.
Yeah.
There's also a really, really, really good, like the most obscure song in the movie, I think, is by this band called Slint. It's one of my dad's favorite songs.
No shit.
Yeah. Good Morning, Captain is the name of it. The band is called Slint.
Sorry.
You saw this movie.
I did. My memory is really bad.
You saw this movie, dude.
I did see this movie. I've seen it twice now. It's just I'm missing 45 minutes.
Anyway, it uses a lot of really good songs.
I gotcha.
It's so well done. Lots of when I was looking through the Letterboxd reviews too, everyone was like, "God, this is like the best use of this song I've ever seen."
Oh yeah.
Oh, the very first song in the movie is the I don't know the name of it, but everyone knows the song. A connection is made. Ooh, you know this fucking song. Quit looking at me like that. No, I don't. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh my
God. Just play it.
It's called Connection by Elastica.
Yeah, I don't fucking know that song.
I'm going to play it right now.
Okay.
This can't stay in because it's going to get DMCA'd.
Right.
Dun 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 dun. Ooh, this is how the movie opens, dude. Are you for real? Be so serious right now?
Everybody was talking. I've never heard this song before.
You have heard the song before.
Have I?
Shut the fuck up. You've heard
like
this.
Listen,
I'm going to leap across this table. Will, whose ears turn off when music plays.
No, that's not true.
You never know the popular songs I reference.
Yeah, you're right. That's very true because I don't listen to pop music.
You're like, I only listen to Screamo.
That's true. I listen to metalcore and techno.
Nobody listens to techno.
You can tell Moby that, but I do. Techno.
I'm like so close to using Moby's music on the pod, by the way, because he has a website of free music for people.
Shit.
Yeah, you just can't use it if you're right-leaning or promote eating meat on your podcast.
Oh, fuck. We do both of those things.
I know. We're fucked.
Yeah.
That's all we talk about.
Is
MAGA and eating deer and shit.
It's true.
So let me run through my trivia because I got a lot of pins to pick up from here.
Let's see it.
So Blackberry admittedly takes many liberties with the true story. It depicts fabricating motives and condensing timelines, but many of the main plot points are accurate. And don't feel bad for any of the main protagonists. All three rank as some of the richest men in Canada to this day.
That's what I figured.
But I won't give you specific numbers just yet, and you'll see why.
Okay.
According to former Research and Motion RIM engineer Matthias Wandel, the film is a very inaccurate portrayal of the company. He did a commentary track on the Blu-ray.
Oh, did he?
By the way.
Shit.
Yeah, and he just talks about how wrong some of it is. But it's just like, yeah.
I gotta hear that. Is that
it's not that interesting actually. There's like 4 different commentary tracks on the Blu-ray that I got. I only listened to like one of them in full. It was the main one with Matt and the editor. It's the most interesting one.
Okay.
But there's one where it's a bunch of crew. That one was really good too, though. And then there's one with this guy. But yeah, they're not, and the audio quality isn't that good either.
Is it not?
No,
it
I don't think they had a really good setup when they did it.
That's a bummer.
It's kind of a bummer, but if the
It
Blu-ray
sounds
is really cool.
interesting. It sounds interesting.
I'll talk about it later when we talk about like the physical thing because like it just came out with a physical release finally, and it's really good. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, on the other hand, Matt Johnson said he took creative liberties in adapting the book Losing the Signal intentionally, but said lawyers prohibited them from inserting anything that was an outright fabrication. So Jim's line, "I'm from Waterloo, where the vampires hang out." It is a reference to a fairly well-known viral video, although I had never seen it. I had to look it up, of a Toronto man being interviewed by the news where he ends up ripping off his shirt. It is officially titled, if you want to look it up yourself, "Man Goes Crazy Rips Off Shirt During Street Interview." I watched it this afternoon. It is wild.
Is it?
You can never, it's pretty long. It's like 3 or 4 minutes long, and you cannot predict any of the next sentence out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It's just, I truly think the man has some form of
He's having
psychosis.
some sort of issue.
And you see him like realize he's being insane
Yeah.
and start to change what he's saying, but
try to
it
dial it
gets
back.
crazier. And
Okay.
he's like on a wave, just going up and down through
Yeah.
like being excited, and then kind of like you can tell he's like, I need to calm down before they call the police. And then he gets excited again and starts shouting insane things. One of them being, though, that I'm from Waterloo where the vampires hang out.
Okay.
Anyway, nothing he says makes sense. It's all fucking wild.
Okay. Cool.
Apparently it was a viral video in Canada for a while, and that's what Glenn Howerton's character is referencing.
Yeah.
So Matt Johnson,
Yes.
as we will talk about later, and I'm sorry to spoil something from a movie you haven't seen yet, Will, but we are going to talk about it.
Okay.
In his first movie, The Dirties,
Yes.
Matt Johnson has a scene where he's recording Foley work, which is like background noise and like
Oh yeah.
sound effects
The
stuff.
Walla shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a scene where he's recording like seagull noises. His friend is teasing him, being like, "What the fuck is that?" And he's like, "It's like a background bird noise. You know, you just play that in the scene."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like adamant that like it's normal for movies to like record that and insert it later.
Right.
And he puts the sound of him doing the seagull noise in all of his movies. It is hidden in Blackberry.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And when I point it out to you, you're going to be able to start hearing it now.
Okay.
It's used at the very beginning of the movie when Mike and Doug return to the Rim offices after their initial failed meeting with Jim. When you see the skateboarders.
Okay.
Anyway, the final scene with Jay Baruchel's character standing in a warehouse full of boxes of Blackberries that he's fixing is a nod to the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, which
Yes.
they famously watch in the middle of the movie.
That is right.
In 2013, this is true. This is real
I'm listening.
stuff.
Yeah.
Doug,
Yes.
Matt's character, reunited with Mike, Jay's character,
Okay.
to found Quantum Valley Investments, and they put $100 million of their own money towards Canadian, turning their hometown of Waterloo, Ontario, into the global hub for quantum computing.
Oh, that's
I do
kind of
not
cool.
know how well that's going. But yeah, so
That's kind
they're
of neat though.
they're like business partners again.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Doug, since he retired from Rim,
Yes.
indulges in auto racing, and he's become a fixture in the Pro-Am racing circuits like the Ferrari Challenge and the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach.
Wow.
There's lots of photos you can find of him like in racing outfits,
he,
like
like,
crawling out of cars.
In his fucking 60s doing this?
No, he's not that old.
Is he in his 50s doing this?
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's rich, and so he can afford to enter himself and pay for the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
you know?
That's wild.
Will, at one point,
Yes.
we see someone painting a Warhammer 40K miniature
Yes, we do.
in this movie.
He's painting a ultramarine.
Well, I understand there might be some anachronisms in the movie.
When it comes to Warhammer?
Yes. Is it like a maybe a model that wouldn't have been from 1996?
It wouldn't have. No, that's right, because it was the same Space Marine from the.
I was gonna say I asked you this question 2 years ago, apparently.
Yes.
So I thought maybe you'd remember
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So the Space Marine that he's painting is one of the ones from the Start painting set that I remember being released in 2004.
Mm.
So it was off by a
Okay,
little
so it wouldn't have been a model from 96, right?
bit. No.
Okay.
it wouldn't have.
Well,
That's it. That's all that
it's
really
losing
is.
a whole star for that. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
Will, how many stars would you give?
Oh, dude, this one's
Blackberry.
I love this movie. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. I do genuinely
Yeah.
love this movie. Like, haha, yeah, Will fell asleep and missed 45 minutes of the movie. I was really
You didn't have to say that.
I
You
was
could
really
have kept
tired.
it a secret.
I know. I've said it multiple times throughout the
I know,
episode.
but like again, I'm not like twisting your arm, making
I
you
think it's
admit
funny.
it.
I think it makes this whole thing funnier. Honestly.
Yeah, okay.
So
You've already seen it. We've already done the episode.
yeah.
It's okay.
it's true. I was comfy. I fell asleep. It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah.
I think it's excellently paced. I love the different time skips. I love watching the team like overcome challenges. I love when the fucking killer app of the iPhone is announced, and it just sends shockwaves through, their whole company.
You're like excited for them. Like you're invested, even though it's like, I wouldn't give a shit about this otherwise.
Yeah,
it's just done so well.
I think that all the characters are true to their core, except when Jay's character starts to slowly lose grip of his morals in order to chase the success. But
that's kind of the interesting arc of his character.
Exactly. That's I just the end shot of him fixing the defective phones is so like wonderful and powerful and true to his character. Like everybody does a really good job with this one too. Like I love this movie. I love the fact that fucking Glenn Howerton shaved his head. I think that's fucking hilarious. I think if I'm not mistaken, I led with that when I was pitching the movie to everybody for us to watch. I was like, oh, by the way, the guy that's got the bald down his thing, he shaved his fucking head to look like that.
Yeah, he commits to this part so well.
He does. He does a great job,
and it's a huge shame that he didn't get
anything
for this.
Yeah.
Well, they won a lot of Canadian awards, I should say, but he didn't. The film didn't get any Oscar nods or anything. It was real disappointing.
It is disappointing because it's really well done,
and it was one of the best movies of the year. It made our top 10 list.
Made your top 10 list. You and Courtney's top 10 list.
It wasn't on yours.
I didn't know about it.
Oh, it was too. Okay, that doesn't count. That's fine.
Yeah, when we did
was that that was the time when you were like, I gotta watch this fucking movie.
Yes, that is exactly why I was like, oh, I need to keep my eyes out for this one. And then shit, there it is on my fucking plane flight. And I was like, oh, I'm watching this.
Yeah.
And I was not disappointed at all.
I think I'll give it a 4, but like it's a solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I think I logged it on Letterboxd as such 2 years ago. I don't want to pull it up, but yeah, it's fantastic. It's a super great
really
movie.
Good movie.
I think it's Matt Johnson's best movie. It's just so well written and edited and slickly produced. Like I love everything about it. I think it's peak like camera work for Jared Robb too, who is his cameraman on every movie.
Yeah.
Or cinematographer or what have you. But yeah, I think the editing is just peak too. Like it's just some of their best editing ever. But it's also his most scripted movie, which might say something too, I wonder, because a lot of his scenes are a little improv. And this one probably has the least, but there's probably some still in there. It kind of feels naturalistic at least.
I'm curious how much of it was him and how much of it was the other guy. Because
the other writer. Yeah. And they wrote the screenplay, but it's based on a book. But obviously they didn't probably pull a lot of lines from that book.
No,
if you know
it seemed like he wanted to do his own fucking thing anyway.
Absolutely,
but they couldn't.
And also the guy, I should say this too, the guy that Matt is playing, Doug. It's not at all based on the real Doug. Matt said he intentionally based him on one of the Mac programmers and John Carmack because he's like that. I just thought it was more fun.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And probably felt more like that's who he could be.
Yeah.
But anyway, Will, I think I know the answer to this, but we didn't have this question.
That's true. That's true. And that's the benefit of going back. We did.
We skipped this last episode.
Yeah, I know.
We skipped the stars and this. I realized I felt so bad when I thought about it.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's all good.
What it is.
What I was going to say is, you pitched to me once, like, hey, we should go back and like do we add this
all of our old movies and like if we would do this,
But anyways, we get to do it.
Yeah. If we would put this out on our Debaser label.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A million %.
Yeah.
My only
this movie
hesitation
like right
now
up our alley
is it has already happened. And just recently.
Yeah. You got it. You got this.
I own it. Yeah. Vinegar Syndrome blissfully picked up this movie.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because there's a guy wearing a Vinegar Syndrome shirt in Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Oh, is it really?
Isn't that awesome?
That is
I don't even know if that's because of this connection now.
Yeah.
But anyway, Vinegar Syndrome picked up the rights to this, put it out on Blu-ray just recently. I just got it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I encourage anyone to go check it out and pick it up.
It was kind of the impetus to do this episode.
Right. I was like, oh, it's on physical media. I should totally fucking pick it up.
Yeah.
I will say it came with the packaging's really cool. It's just got the normal poster with Mike and Jim on it. And then like they got like little devil horns and stuff drawn on them as if like Doug did it. And then there is an outer shell that is like, it looks like blueprints for the first Blackberry.
Yeah.
It's got like coffee stains on it.
That's cool. I like that.
And then there's a booklet inside that it's a really fancy booklet, has a bunch of like pictures from the movie and an essay from Ben David Grabinski. He's written a lot of TV shows and movies.
Okay.
Notably, he wrote the Scott Pilgrim anime for Netflix. That was really good.
Yeah.
It's really great. And if you're sick of Scott Pilgrim,
No, it's
I would check it out because it's a kind of like a what if.
Yeah.
It's completely different from the original story, which is really nice. And I was reading, I did a really long deep dive on a post on Reddit that was saying that that show is based on what became of Brian Lee O'Malley's life after the movie. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with this? You're just nodding.
I've heard.
You've heard of this too? Because like apparently like him and his wife broke up. He moved from Canada to Los Angeles. He kind of sounds miserable now.
Yeah.
Like this is all conjecture, but it was really fascinating. And it's like, maybe that like it was based more on what's happened to him since.
Didn't he have a hand in writing it too? The show?
I don't know how involved he was. I think Ben David Grabinski wrote it and then went to Brian Lee O'Malley and asked if he would give it his blessing and produce it. Yeah. I don't know how much of it he wrote.
Gotcha. Because I know that his name is in the credits. I just can't.
Well, it has to be because he owns the IP.
Sure, but
maybe he did.
It's not in.
Maybe he took a pen to some of it too.
If I'm not mistaken, it's not just like from the mind of, or
from the messed up mind of Brian Lee O'Malley. No. I don't know, but this was just a fan theory that I was reading on Reddit, which
usually
give it a grain of salt. Believe it with a grain of salt, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Fucking Christ! Ben David Grabinski wrote an essay on the inside of the Blackberry booklet.
There it is,
and it's fine.
It's fine.
It's not. I would have gone to like.
I love that.
Like a real film critic.
I love that.
Because I like those essays more. They feel more in depth. And it's really just an essay of Ben just like praising the movie and he's just effusive about it. He doesn't really have anything insightful or that interesting to say. I was kind of let down with how it just felt like a fun letterbox review that didn't really have much to say about it. But the packaging is beautiful. And Vinegar Syndrome always does a great job with that. There's lots of extras. They put a lot of effort into recording a lot of extras. There's lots of there's like 4 or 5 commentary tracks, and there's multiple like there's a blooper reel too, but there's like little like featurettes where it's like here's the sound engineers talking about what they did and stuff like that. People just like on camera talking about stuff, which was nice. And it's 2 discs too, which is rare anymore. Okay, it's enough about the movie.
Oh, that's right. There's a bit now.
There's a bit. It's time for a segment.
Okay.
William,
is this one of Moby's?
This is not Moby. I'm sorry. This is Audio Heroes, a track that I bought. We're going to play a game called You're Worth How Much?
Oh no!
I'm going to name one of the individuals portrayed in Blackberry, and you have to guess what their estimated net worth is according to the internet.
Oh God!
It's mostly based on what their shares of Blackberry or RIM were worth when they sold.
Okay.
Number 1, we're going to start with Mike
Lazaridis.
Thank you. What a cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like Lazarus. Mm-hmm. That's a cool name. Anyway, what do you think Mike's current net worth is estimated at?
That's a really good question. So what was it? Let me do a little bit of a comparison, right? Because Elon Musk is close to a trillionaire, right? Or he was, and then the Tesla stocks went down. So he was like,
I don't want to think about that, but yeah,
he's like $456 billion. And then the Amazon guy, he's like what, Bezos. 229, right? So let's go with 50 billion.
Okay. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
There's only 1 billionaire on this list.
Okay. It's neither Mike or Jim.
But it is 9 digits. Does that make sense?
Let's go with
it's in the hundreds of millions.
750 million.
Very close. 600 million is Mike's estimated net worth. Now, bad. Jim Basili.
Yeah, Balsillie.
What do you think his net worth is?
He's Balsillie.
Now, remember what happened to him.
Yes, he got fined by the SEC, if I'm not mistaken.
Or the SEC.
Yes.
That is correct.
And he bought that stadium, but did not acquire a hockey team.
Right. So he's probably had a lot of money for that.
Yes.
So what do you think his net worth is?
Let's go with 175 million.
No, it's actually 500. It's just a little less.
Oh, shit. God damn it.
Mike stayed on a lot longer, too, until Blackberry was like close to finished, basically. Okay. He stayed on until 2012.
Gotcha.
And so he injected a lot of his own money to try to keep it afloat.
I gotcha.
So Mike also would have had way more money if he left earlier.
Like
Douglas. Friggin? What do you think?
Friggin Douglas has got
net worth. Now, remember, the movie says that he is secretly one of the richest men in the world.
Exactly. So
what do you think that places him at?
That puts him at 150 million or 150 billion.
No, it's just 1 billion.
1 billion.
1 billion.
Okay, never mind.
Which is
still
still insane.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. All these guys way richer than I'll ever be in my entire life.
For sure. Way richer than 99.9% of people on Earth. Yes.
Tax them.
Yeah, for sure.
Canada, get on it.
And they're in Canada, so they probably are paying a lot more than most American billionaires and millionaires.
Yeah, this is definitely true.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, don't feel too bad for anybody in this movie.
I don't.
That's what's funny. Yeah, it's like you do have sympathy, but then you're like, oh wait, these guys are all still super fucking rich.
The thing that I am sad for them for is they're going to be like a footnote in the phone tech race. They came up with all of this stuff. They figured all this stuff out.
Yeah.
But when you look at the pillar of history, who remembers Blackberries? No one.
Are just us. People our age.
Yeah.
Nobody younger.
Mm-mm.
They're going to be like, what the fuck is
this?
that?
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy that okay, a good example, right? You were talking about the fucking Apple movie, the movie about
Steve Jobs,
right?
Yeah.
So did you ever take any tech classes in high school? And did you ever, were you ever forced to watch Silicon Valley, the movie Silicon Valley?
The movie?
Yeah.
No, I watched the TV show, but I'm sure it's not the same.
No, it's not.
You would not watch that in high school.
No, you would not. The movie Silicon Valley was about both Apple and Microsoft becoming
I've never even heard of
companies. Yeah. My web design teacher loved this movie. It would make us watch it all the fucking time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've seen it like 3 or 4 times. And I feel like maybe years from now, this movie will be shown in high school to fucking some tech class about like, hey, all of the things that you got is because of this right here.
Yeah,
and people will be like, what the fuck is a Blackberry?
Yeah, yeah.
They'll be on iPhone 30 or whatever.
Yep.
By that point in time, we'll have fucking Google Glass will finally take off or what have you.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about this movie is like, it shows the stepping stone to where we're at now. And it's dramatized. It was really good though.
Yeah.
Wait, they won't show that in high school because they say fuck a lot.
Yeah, it's a little R-rated. I think it is R-rated.
Yeah.
Just because they swear a lot. There's nothing else. There's no violence.
Maybe high school will get really cool about it.
We got to. Well, listen, the president says fuck all the time now, so it doesn't seem to matter anymore.
No, it does not.
Still can't believe that. Of all of the things that he does, that's the one that bothers me, right?
Yeah.
I approve of everything else that he does.
I love him as Jesus Christ.
No, it was the doctor.
It was doctored.
Well, we finally did it, and we recorded it.
We did it, and it's been done.
It was recorded for real this time.
Yeah, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, tell a friend about the show. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at debaserpod@gmail.com. Have I checked that in a while? I think I should probably.
You probably should.
That has been our show. Thank you for listening to Debaser. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to us on your podcast app and follow us on social media by searching for @DebaserPod or just the words DebaserPod. Our guest today. Oh, wait. Nope. Didn't have a guest.
No, we didn't. It was the spirit of the BlackBerry phone itself. As our guest.
Oh God, wouldn't that have been cool if I got a BlackBerry? No, it's an audio medium. It doesn't matter.
You just had a camera on it the whole fucking time. Yeah.
My wonderful co-host is Will. Will, where can people find you? And do you have anything to plug?
Other than all the social that you always say every
right, you are at pocket_infinity on Instagram, and you are willswitch-engage on the Blue Skies.
You would believe that a bunch of botted OnlyFans models would be listening to our show with how often I get one. Because I get one like every fucking day.
Yeah,
same. It's really annoying. Oh,
and I can always tell. Well, A, because of the avatar, but B, I open the profile and it says like something about like how men never text first or something. And I'm like,
some fucking thing
delete.
Like that. Like, yeah, come on, fuck off.
Yeah, it's probably because there's a link to our socials somewhere in the description, and it's probably getting like scanned.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Crazy. So if you're an OnlyFans model, do not reach out to us.
No, not
we
interested.
do not have money.
No, we're both broke.
Yeah, we're broke and we're married, so
Yes,
it's kind of a loss for two for you.
This podcast makes no money. So, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah,
and also you're a robot, and I don't fuck with robots.
Yeah. Do I have anything? I feel like
I don't. Do you have anything to plug?
No, I never have anything.
We did it. We recorded it.
We finally. I want to plug the Blackberry episode of Debaser. We finally fucking did it.
Finally fucking.
Hey, by the time this comes out, there might be a new episode of Spellbound and Gagged.
Oh, hey, there you
I
go.
talked about Bohemian Grove.
And you were on it.
I was the guest. I talked about Bohemian Grove, which is like that real thing where a bunch of like billionaires and politicians meet up once a year and have like the big gay, as Richard Nixon called it, F-slur of a meeting in the woods.
Jesus Christ. That's wild.
So yeah, check that out on Spellbound and Gagged. That is my friend Ellen's podcast that I also edit. So for my co-host Will, I'm Jared. Take care and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Debaser is hosted and produced by Will Taylor and Jared Rusk. The show is mixed and edited by Jared Rusk. The intro is by AJ Stillebauer. You can find more of AJ's work at ajstillebauer.com. The cover art is by Dog Bites Back on Instagram. Check out debaserpod.com for links to all of our episodes and more. You can email the show at debaserpod@gmail.com. Please remember to subscribe to us on your podcast app and follow us on social media by searching for @debaserpod. Special thanks to Haley and Courtney for their love and understanding. Thank you for listening, and take care of each other.